reacted to the Twitter feud between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's that has caused a huge commotion. It all started when Nicki tweeted and quickly deleted a post that said $4.99, which seemed like a remark at the promo price for Cardi's new album, Am I the Drama? From there, Nicki went all in, calling Cardi Barney and rewriting the lyrics to Magnet into a full-on diss. Cardi didn't waste time responding back. While joking she was baking ribs and making blondie brownies, she called Nicki Substance Barbie and rewrote her own Magnet lyrics to bring up Nicki's brother's history. Cardi argued that Nicki shouldn't be comparing herself to her anyway. Cardi said, "You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake." She added, "I was in high school when you came out. What are you comparing yourself to me for?" Nicki's fans hyped up her bars and the Barney jokes, while Cardi's fans praised her for dragging sales and longevity into the conversation. Then Ice Spice jumped in with a laughing emoji, making it clear she found the chaos entertaining. That little reaction only stirred the pot more, with people speculating which side she's really on. This feud isn't new. Nicki and Cardi have been trading shade for years, but last night's exchange felt different because of how detailed the lyrics and insults were. Both sides came in swinging with no hesitation, and Twitter was filled with memes, clips, and fan edits by the minute. And now, Eminem has spoken out about the Nicki and Cardi feud. Underneath an article about it, Eminem left a comment. In his comment, he wrote, "Can we not just focus on the music?" I think Eminem is clearly tired of all the noise and wants fans to pay attention to artistry instead. I feel this shows he values music over unnecessary back and forth drama. For this video's comment question, do you agree with Eminem?
You know you lost the whole argument when you start talking about kids. Nicki, that was definitely uncalled for. Now, yesterday was the showdown of all showdowns. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B actually go back and forth with each other again on the internet, but this time it got ugly. Now, this is going to be a long video, so make sure you like it because the girls be tweeting and deleting. In the series of tweets, some of them deleted, some of them are still up. Nicki Minaj put out a spew of messages in regard to Cardi B. Now, her first one says, "Lucian, Elliott, Rock Nation, I promise you, tell this dizzy hoe to stand down. I promise you." She then refers to Cardi as Barney and calls her Barney Dangerous, Bodega Barney. She says, "What up? Your sister can get the chest caved in if you pregnant with any other monkey or roach right now." Crazy, and trigger warning. She goes on to say, "I'm just saying for entertainment purposes only." So she's including Cardi B and her sister Hennessy. Nicki Minaj then goes on to say culture, referring to Cardi B's youngest daughter. She said, "You a roach and a monkey." Crazy to say about a child. Then she goes on to say, "like your sister." Now she's also referring to the baby Blossom. Then she insinuates that Cardi does booger sugar and says, "Don't sniff," with baby number 4 or 5, word to Carlos. Then she says, "Culture is a vulture and her mama a crow. So stupid to not see Wendy ate that cow. What happened?" I'm not sure what she's saying. Then she goes on to say, "They played you to do that hex to yourself, you flop yes tongue hoe." And I had to look it up because I saw those screenshots. I was like, there's no way she called this baby a monkey and a roach. Child, she did. Now Cardi B comes back because what we didn't know was that it was Nicki Minaj's son's birthday. So she's doing this all on his birthday. Now Cardi B says Papa Bear, referring to Nicki Minaj's son, goes on to say, "I'm sorry you can't speak and banking spoons because your mom couldn't put the RUGS down." She said, "I'm sorry your mom not paying attention to you on your own birthday because she's an obsessed and dark-spirited hating hoe. I'm so sorry." Cardi B then says, "Girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter dedicating essays to me? For the love of God, go to Chuck E. Cheese." Now, this is the essay in question, and I wanted to make sure I screenshotted it before it was deleted. And I'm going to sparse through it, but I'm not going to read the full thing, but you can pause to read that. I hope it's clear in the frame. So Nicki goes on to say, is I'm a Barbie B and a flop? Is I'm lying about fertility when the queen has never once seen or spoken to a fertility doctor in her life? Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby effing sweetie taking my big gooey hole for alimony. Now she then goes on to say that some women do plan their pregnancies, and she calls her a Heineken twat. And then she goes on to say, I don't know who the Trade is. I think she's referring to Stephon Diggs, who got 4 other babies, 4 other people pregnant. She goes on to say, "You see, the devil has come to collect, and you sold your soul. You made a pact, but you lost." Now we're going to have to run this back a little bit because I think people forgot. So everybody knows Azalea Banks throws root. We know that. These are all Caribbean Haitian women. Okay. Now at the time, I think 2.5 years ago, followed the story because it is spooky season. Azalea Banks got on Instagram and was laughing at Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj, I think paid her to throw some root, child. Now after Nicki allegedly paid Azalea Banks to throw some root, presumably on Cardi, she takes to Queen Radio and she starts bragging about it. And that's when Azalea Banks comes out and basically said, I just took your money. You cannot throw root on somebody who doesn't deserve it or is just basically living their life innocently. And Nicki Minaj was on Queen Radio while live being embarrassed by Azalea Banks, talking about like, oh, this is why you shouldn't practice bruja and da-da-da-da. And Azalea Banks was like, girl, please shut up. None of that stuff was real. Like, you done got. So when you're hearing Nicki Minaj and all of them talking about root and bad energy, is because they probably do be practicing that. And Nicki Minaj has probably been trying to throw root for years, child. And yes, I do have all the clips, honey. Okay, so this is the other half of Nicki Minaj's tweet, and I'm going to move out the way so you can pause to read the rest of it. But again, she just goes on to keep calling Cardi B Barney, and she's talking about her children being monkeys and roaches and how she's been throwing root, child. Then she also followed up with this tweet after she called Culture a vulture and ugly too. She says, also, let me say this, though I have never had fertility issues, it's not something to be used as a drag until you know the woman you are actually living that pain and blaming themselves. We could only imagine and pray for them. Oh, girl, please, you just called a child a roach. Then after that, everything just went crazy. Now, Cardi B replies back. You can pause to read all of this, but Cardi B replies back and said, and you said, F vulture what? Like referring to her daughter. She said, B F that slow son. Now they're talking about kids, child. So again, trigger warning, that slow son that came out of your JJ. Then she goes on to say that you was wishing so much negativity on me while I was pregnant, and look at your karma. Look what your rotten produced. Now he's a whole 5 years old, tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. And you can pause to read the rest of this because I don't even know if I could read this on syndicated television. Okay. But she accuses Nicki Minaj's father of doing stuff to her. And then she goes on to say that, tell the world that's why you wake up so miserable because you hurt and full of trauma, and trying to apply it to everybody else. And why F you keep bringing up Rock Nation? I'm not signed to them. You're delusional, paranoid B. And that's kind of the point of the story I never really quite understood. Why does Nicki Minaj keep trying to equate everybody to Rock Nation? Rock Nation has a very select group of people they work with, so much so that you can actually go to Rock Nation's website and see the artists and athletes that they work with. And Cardi B is literally not one of them. So why bring Rock Nation into it? Not a clue. But if the girls continue to fight, I'm going to keep you guys posted. You